This is a big car. It's very large.
Oh, I'm so awkward.
I don't think I can even bring it in the shop. Some of you will recognize this lovely 1963 two-door Chrysler Imperial from our Lemons Rally last year. Our friends Ian, Matt, and I think Fuzzy brought this on the rally, and for some reason they're trusting me to do the metal work. But the first thing we're going to do is a fuel tank. I'm going to show you in a moment here the other metal work that has to be done and the great lengths that Ian went through to find metal for this car. Let's have a look at all that, shall we? BERTHA's a lot to try to fit in frame. We'll start kind of in the middle, I guess. Some of the arches are kind of crusty, so I've got to figure out how to do that. But there's also all that, and with that comes some frame stuff, and the outer rockers are gonzo and some of the inner rockers are gonzo, and the doors don't close. But there's also a lot of this up here. And he said that all this is Bondo, but this is such a compound shape that I don't think I'd be able to do that with my inferior metalworking skills. So how does one fix that? Oh, you know, you just have some guy in Nebraska send you an entire front clip on a pallet. Oh, so there's going to be a lot of replacement of panels. Thankfully, he was able to find these and rocker skins for both sides, all the flat stuff for the floor and the frame. I should be able to make myself, but fuel tank first, because that's crusty and leaking apparently. The trunk's actually pretty solid, save for a small hole over there. Oh. I'm not 100% sure how the tank's going to come out. I mean, I know it's got straps. I'm more concerned about the filler neck because I don't want to wreck that. Although I'm pretty sure he's got another one. I'll double check, but I think I'm going to cut this guy and then maybe try to pry this out because there's just a rubber O-ring in there. And then there's lines, 2 lines at the other end that I'm probably going to cut. And then the sending wire that I should be able to just pull off. And then I think on this end, I'll just snippy snappy these, put it on the floor jack and let it come down and see what happens, I guess, right? If I get a hammer, hammers are always the answer. I feel like that might be making it worse. That's certainly getting stuff in my eye. So that's just a breather piece. It goes into the tank, that can stay on. You have to disconnect the things at the back and cut those wires and see what happens. Yep, all right, spill forth. Okay. Oh, remember, do not, under any circumstances, ever do this. I'm an idiot. Oh, that was horrifying. Okay, other side now. Jesus. Oh! Okay. Alright. Alright. I'm sure I won't dump any fuel all over myself. Oh! Yep. God damn it. Oh, for sake. Okay, glad I got all the grinding out of the way. Well, that was fun. Somehow managed to not spill a drop of that on myself, but so that failed because you can see that this guy right here. Oop, this little lip was, in that, thusly, and so the tank was catching on that, and then, it came off of it and fell and yada yada. So okay, so I'm gonna let this evaporate a little bit before I carry on, and then I've got to figure out how to get the rest of the hangers off on this side, and I'll probably clean up there and paint that and yada yada, and then start trying to figure out how to get the new tank in. All right, I've got the underside of the car painted as best I can. I'm painting the straps right now. I'm going to paint the top of this too, and then paint the underside when it's in the car. But I want to get all of this together first before I do that. So I'm going to do the sending unit, and looks like it's got one of the classic awful Mopar like slip ring things. Might need a hammer and a chisel to do this. So you can see it's kind of bent up like that, so that's the side that's going to go in. It's going to face up like that. And this is going to go over like that. Make sure your seal's underneath all the lips here. Wow, this is terrible, huh? I feel like I'm gonna need a chisel and a hammer. Hammer. I put some fuel-resistant goo on the O-ring and hammered that in, and now I'm letting it sit like this, hoping that it'll seal rigid or something. Letting the paint dry as well, so there's not really anything I can do in the meantime. I don't really know what I'm going to do with that yet, so I guess in the meantime I'm just going to continue painting bits, and then try maybe installing this in an hour or so. So it's the next day, and I have the fuel tank in the Imperial, and it's full and it's not leaking. But why didn't I film any of that? Well, I'll tell you, I got really annoyed because the way the manual tells me to put all this together, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little grommet in here. I'm supposed to put that on here and then put this into the body and then, mate the neck and the tank together underneath the car. But there's no like real attachment on the tank. It's like a slip fit interference thing, getting the neck into the tank. And with this grommet here, if I, like the manual says, hammer down on this to get it to seat in the tank, the grommet becomes so close to the end of the filler neck that I can't get the cap on. So then I push the grommet in so that I can get the cap on, and pushing the grommet in pulls the neck out of the tank. So, what did I do? While I had the tank out, I just tack welded the neck to the tank and put the whole thing in so that it would stay. So, it's not a problem now. It's not leaking. I put, I think about 12 gallons in it and drove it around, and it's not leaking. So I'm going to call this done. I've got to get a ground strap for the sending unit and paint this again. But other than that, the fuel tank seems to be done. I think that's going to do it for this episode. I think that was enough calamity for whatever amount of time it took me to put this together. So the next time we're going to start on the metalwork on this, hopefully. I'm going to try to do the floor and frame stuff before I pull the entire front clip off. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like, leave a comment, share with your friends, and I'll see you at the next one.